I'm Reed Nibbins. I'm the Mississippi State Environmental Science Specialist, and today we'll be discussing the 4-H Western Heritage discipline. And today I have Mr. Thomas Happy, the Level 2 Certified Western Heritage Instructor out of Itawamba County, and appreciate you coming on the set today, and let's discuss Western Heritage.
Yeah, Western Heritage is an exciting project. It's a living history, which means we are looking at a particular time period, 1860 to 1900 in the frontier West. That means, generally speaking, west of the Mississippi River. And so it's a program that has a lot of different parts to it. We got three particular pieces that make it up. One, we have a persona. So you're going to have a youth dress in costume and come up with a character of history. And they're going to kind of give a public speaking project with judges with that. Second part is that we have a testing portion, a little bit of a history exam. We're going to look at some Western heritage knowledge, look at some firearm identification, and look at a particular point of topic to study for each year. And the last part is often the kids' most favorite part, I'll be honest, is the shooting portion. We're using period correct firearms, shooting at steel targets, a variety of different options that the kids are shooting. And when they shoot the fastest, have the least misses, they get a lot of fun out of that smiling, ringing steel. And so that's the three portions that kind of make up the different competition.
All right, well, let's elaborate on some of this. So you just talked about the shooting portion. You just had the rifle in your hand, so let's go ahead and jump right into there to that.
All right, so shooting, it's a time competition, which is a little different than the rest of our 4-H disciplines. We are shooting steel targets. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Rifle targets tend to be a little bit smaller, 8 inches, 10 inches, maybe an animal shape. Pistol targets, shotgun targets seem to be a little bit bigger, but again, can be some different sizes at different distances. The kids are shooting under very controlled conditions. A lot of supervision. There's going to be a coach within arm's reach of them basically at all times. They, of course, are going to be wearing their standard ear protection, ear muffs, shooting glasses, all that standard good safety equipment. When they come to the stage, that's what we call our different disciplines, is the stage. They're going to be under supervision while loading. The 22 pistols, there's going to be 2 of those for our junior 2s and above. There's revolvers. They're a 6-shot single-action revolver. They're going to shoot 22 long rifle, pretty standard ammunition. And then our 22 rifles tend to be lever action is the most popular. There is a pump action that's an option. There is one particular gun on the market right now, the Browning BL-22. It's a lever action, but it is not allowed because it has basically a short stroke. The engineering is too modern. It's an unfair advantage. So that particular gun is not allowed. And they also do a shotgun portion. 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410, not a lot of regulation on that, but it needs to be period correct. For the most part, that usually means our classic double barrel coach gun. Riding shotgun on the stagecoach, that's where that comes from. There are some other options, but that's most what we're going to see is a double barreled side-by-side shotgun, not the over and under, it's a side-by-side double barrel. So the kids are going to load under supervision. Some certified coach is going to help them load their pistols and rifles. They get staged on the tables there at the shooting stage right there. And then the shotgun is actually left open and empty with the shotgun shells all sitting there right beside the shotgun. And so that's actually loaded under time. Unlike our adult kind of side, we do not carry guns at any point. There's no pistols and holsters. There's no movement under time, so you're not going to shoot a rifle and then move with that rifle and shoot it again. It's laying on the table. You pick it up, you shoot it, you put it back down, you move on to the next thing. At the shooting time, the coach is going to say, is the kid ready? Do you understand the instructions? Which targets are which? Are all your guns laid out how you want them? And then they're going to ask them, are you ready? And they're waiting for the beep. That's our starting signal. The kid's going to engage with all of their pistol targets. Again, they're going to do that with 2 different pistols. They're going to engage with their rifle targets. So they're going to go through all of those. And then they're going to maybe engage with the shotgun. They're going to load 2 of those. They're going to fire those, and they're going to leave it back open and empty, put back down on the table. They want to, of course, hear that steel ring every time. That's how we know This is not a bullseye competition. It is a hit or it's a miss. Anywhere on the steel, we usually can see it, obviously, and of course, we usually hear it. And so that is how we know you have hit it. Any miss on the rifle and pistols is a 5-second penalty. The shotgun can't be missed. You have to keep reloading and shooting until the shotgun has been hit, engaged, knocked down, whatever the stage calls for. All of that happens again with this timer. It's a microphone-based system. When you hear that starting beep, the time keeps going. You go through all the firearms. Each of those shots it hears, and it's going to give you the final time on the last shot. Lowest time wins, basically, and that gets added into the other portions of the competition.
All right, let's elaborate real quick on, let's go to the attire next.
The persona interview,
Persona.
yeah, the kid gets to pick a person from history. That can be a real person. We encourage you to either be inspired by somebody else or just come up with a character that could exist. Whether that's a cowboy, a sheriff, a gold miner, a school teacher, a banker, a prairie farmer, whatever it might be, somebody that may have existed in the frontier West from 1860 to 1900. That could include a Civil War soldier or veteran, even. That's part of it as well. You're going to dress the part for some level to try and match your character. Are the clothes or the accessories, does it match what you're doing with your character and what their life should look like? In about a 4 to 7 minute presentation, the youth are going to present to a panel of judges what their character is. Their chosen name, what age they are at this point. They, of course, can portray any age. Where they live, what time in history, what's their day-to-day life, their job, their family, how'd they get there? Did they take a stagecoach from Missouri to get to California for the gold rush? Whatever it is, whatever their story is, they have to convey that. And they explain their clothing as well. This is why I'm wearing this. It would match my character. And they also are expected to explain what's maybe not period correct. My modern plastic glasses are going to be a problem. I should point out these are not period correct glasses. I'm wearing plastic buttons on my shirt. All that kind of stuff is part of the presentation. Judges can ask some questions if they want to. And those are actually, the persona is actually divided up into male and female categories. So, basically the best dressed, best story male gets an award, and the best dressed, best story female in each of our age categories get a competition award out of that.
All right, talk about the test.
Last part is our test. It is a history exam to a certain point. There is some kind of safety rules for the Western Heritage Project. For instance, like the pistol we shoot is particularly a two-handed grip on our pistol. So that's a question that might come up is, are they holding the pistol correctly? That's a safety question that could come up. We also do firearm identification. So that within our kind of resource guides, we have some PowerPoints. There's a lot of different firearms that are the famous guns of the Old West. That Winchester lever action, that Colt revolver, those are the guns that won the West. So can you identify an 1873 Colt single action army revolver and that be different than a Smith & Wesson of the same time period? It's an identification. So it's either picture-based, or it could actually be, authentic or reproduction firearms laid out on the table. Both options there. The third part of our test is each year has a particular study focus. First year we looked at Samuel Colt and Oliver Winchester. Second year we looked at Native American tribes, kind of the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma story. And so each year has its own focus, what they're expected to study. The resources are provided, here's a few articles or a website that you need to study, and that's what the questions are going to come from. All, again, the test, the persona, and the shooting time all get added together to give our top hand overall winners.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. We appreciate that. There are some resources like I just mentioned earlier. The Western Heritage Project. This is the firearms, gun leather, and attire of the Frontier West. And there's another one, the 4-H Western Heritage Project, the Youth Activity Guide as well. You can find these on the Montana 4-H Extension website. And you can order these, or if you come with volunteers, we're always needing volunteers, especially as we grow this program here in Mississippi. But You'll actually get these if you come to a volunteer level 1 volunteer Western Heritage training as well. So
Yeah, the beauty of this program is it has the opportunity to be a year-round program.
that's right.
Depending on the county, depending on the coach, depending on the family, how involved they want to be, we could be doing winter study in the extension office, studying, these book resources, doing homework in that youth activity guide, studying leather working or blacksmithing or something. And, it's not all about just the shooting practices, which of course are a lot of the fun, but it can be a year-round program with a lot of opportunities to dress up, to take on a new character, to try out some firearms you might not be used to. So it's a lot of fun, and we hope you'll join us and enjoy it.
And like Mr. Happy said, this is a living history, and that's what we want it to be. We want it to be a year-round project for our youth here in Mississippi. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of education as well, and that's what we're all about with 4-H. So,
We
with
have
that,
a state competition. There's not a district. It is separate from the other disciplines. So the state competition is usually in the fall, and then there's a national competition. It actually, again, is separate from the nationals and the other disciplines. It's an open invitational. It kind of rotates around the country every year. So you can go from 8 to 18 to nationals every year you want to. It's a little bit different and exciting part of it.
all right. With that, we're going to go ahead and close, but be safe and safe shooting.